What's up, Rosé girls? It has been way too long, and I am so excited to be back at the Focus TV studio because today we're having Rosé with Lauren Schwab. Everybody say hello. Cheers.
Cheers.
But actually, fun fact, you guys, this is not Rosé because Lauren doesn't drink. So she's obsessed with collagen. So instead, I found collagen beauty water that looks like Rosé. So we're kind of faking it. But cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
So girls, she is a fitness guru, but more importantly, I like to describe you as the ultimate connector. So if you're looking for like a hot workout or a great place to grab a juice or like a post-workout place or a cafe to do some work, Lauren knows where to go, who to talk to. I mean, it's like in your blood. You just love to connect people.
You know, it's really funny that you bring that up because I always thought that God didn't gift me if I wasn't a professional athlete or I wasn't a professional singer. I was like, well, I'm not talented. What do I have to give to the world? What is my gift? And it actually was just about 2 years ago that I actually was able to put into words what I love to do. And I know that I love helping people. I love bringing people together and letting them know that they matter. But I was able to like get it into one sentence, and it's my why. And it's to facilitate relationships so that we can live in a more connected world. And that's it. That's what you said. And it's like, you need a boyfriend. You need a husband, whatever it is. Like, you need a gyno. I don't know. Like, everyone calls me for everything. I'm like a walking concierge service.
No, but seriously. And it's like, you don't even try. It's so natural. But that's amazing that you figured out what your why is. I mean, some people spend their lives. I'm over here. I'm freaking praying about what is my purpose. But that's amazing that you found what your why is. Mm-hmm. But I know that it didn't just come like that. Mm-hmm. So I always say, and what we talk about a lot on the show, is that life really begins outside your comfort zone. Yeah. And I know that you have some great stories about that. So kind of tell us, you're the creator of Unplugged. Mm-hmm. These morning amazing workouts. We actually worked out this morning. Yeah. I'm already sore. My body is hurting, but I love it. And I want you to kind of tell us on how it started and just the message and purpose behind it all.
Yeah, so exactly what you're saying. You're like, I don't know what my purpose is. I'm praying for my purpose. The thing is, it's already inside of us. I already had that, right? Those are the things, if I look back at videos from when I was a kid, I was connecting people, I was helping people, I was bringing gifts, I was doing all the things I'm doing now. I just couldn't articulate it. I just couldn't put it into words what it is that I do. And so it was about a year ago now that I was getting an energy healing done. And sometimes I just fall asleep and snore. But other times I float off into like a magical, place, and I'm on cloud 9. And this time I started visualizing myself looking at outlets. There was all these different outlets. And they were these comfort zones, right? So it's like I sleep with what I call my biggest fan, which if I go to spend the night with someone, like I take my fan with me. I like show up at the door with my fan, like, hey,
like for white noise?
Party. Yeah. But that's a comfort, right? That makes me comfortable. Right. And then it's like I plug my NutriBullet in to make my protein shake every day. That makes me comfortable.
With your collagen.
And then, yes. And then I plug my computer in to do work, and that brings me money, right? Income. Then I plug my phone in to connect with people. So there's my curling iron tea, right? All these things I'm plugging into for comfort, but I don't need any of them to survive.
Right.
Then I started thinking about the outlets as something else, like filling a void when you're seeking happiness. So it's like if and when. If I find that perfect partner, then I'll be happy. Or when I have this house and this car, then I'll be happy. And when I have kids, then I'll be happy. And all these different things, cars, all these things we think are going to help us be happy. And because we don't have it yet, we also plug into drugs and alcohol and sex and all these other things where we're not ultimately happy with those things either, because they're all external sources.
Right.
They're not internal. So during this energy healing, I actually visualized myself reaching for the cord, unplugging from the outlet and plugging it into me. And I still literally am getting chill bumps right now. I call them my God bump confirmations. But like every time I say that, it's like
God confirmations. I love that.
God bumps. But it was like, people have always said all the answers are within you. Everything that ever will be and ever was is within you. But I never really got it. I'm like, yeah, easier said than done. Yeah. Like I can't just like cut myself open, go in there and pull it out. Like how do I actually access that? But when I plugged into myself, I was like, wow, this is it. I have to unplug from external and plug into myself. And I know that I can't, be like, hey, Jess, this is what you need to do. You need to go live in a cave. Because I lived in a cave one time for 60 days, completely unplugged from all of those things, all of the comforts.
She's actually being serious. She legit lived in a cage. Like, she's not just, not a cage, a cave.
But every time you do say cage, and I imagine shark diving.
A cave. She actually did live in a cave, but that's like another whole story.
Right.
But that's so cool that that's
But unplugged. And that was it. I didn't get to have my biggest fan, and I didn't get to have my NutriBullet, and I didn't get to have my phone, and I wasn't able to connect with anybody but the people I was there with. And there were so many life lessons learned in that cave that made me who I am today. And so, yeah, I can't say go live in a cave, but I can say when you wake up in the morning, don't grab your phone first thing, let go of the distractions and plug into yourself and connect, pray, meditate, deep breathe, drink some water, write down what you're grateful for. How can you be generous to somebody that day? What are you letting go of?
Right.
Who are you? What are your I am statements? All of that. You can do that before you plug in. And then when you go out into the world, you're going to be more proactive than reactive in situations.
So true. Honestly, the mornings, like even your unplugged mornings, when I just wake up and we start at 6:30 in the morning, so you have no time to check Instagram or anything. Like, I wake up and I go. And then, you have this like no phone unplugged policy, which I love. And you just connect with the people. And it makes you realize that in life, connecting in relationships is the most important thing.
Yep.
And I say love too. It's just, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And I just love that. So I'm so glad that you kind of had this aha moment. You created, how can everyone figure out and follow and join your Unplugged Mornings?
So unpluggedmornings.com. You can just go there, and we host weekly workouts if you're in the LA area that are free, and you just come, we sweat together, and then we go grab coffee and we just talk unplugged. And it's like, what's your deepest fear? What's an obstacle you're trying to overcome? And we're just this family, this community, and I love that. And then also we have retreats coming up. We do pop-up fitness events where we do a workout and have someone come talk and do a truth talk and something like that. So there's plenty of ways, but the website is the best way, or you can follow me on Instagram. That's pretty much the only one I use. I'm a technology dinosaur. So my Instagram's @_Lauren Schwab, and that's pretty much the way to find it. So
for someone to be unplugged in the morning, like for me, I wake up and I actually just started writing in what's called the 5-minute journal. And so do you have any other tips like that? And for people who don't know, the 5-minute journal, it's very easy, a 1 page, and you first write down what you're grateful for, and then what would make today great, 3 things, and then an affirmation. And then at the end of the day, which I sometimes forget to do, but you're supposed to write down like what made today great, and then 1 thing that could have made it better. And I think that 1 thing could make it better is so you go to bed and you're excited to wake up and push maybe even harder or try something new, the next day. So do you have any other kind of little tips like that where someone could really wake up and just be unplugged?
Yeah, so actually Unplugged is a 9-step process.
Oh,
so
we go.
Similar to the 5-minute journal someone just gave me for my birthday. So I'm excited to dive in and really start utilizing that as part of my Unplugged. But the U for Unplugged is universe. So this is where you can just wake up and you just connect with yourself. So this is a time to actually go within and say, how do I feel right now? Did I get 8 hours of sleep, but I'm still groggy, tired, fatigued, don't want to get out of bed, not excited? Okay, what happened yesterday? Maybe you didn't drink enough water yesterday. Maybe you're dehydrated now. Maybe that'll fix it. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe you don't know what your plan is, what your purpose is. You haven't set any goals for the day. So it's a time to just go in and deep breathe. For me, I pray. That's the first thing that I do. Some people will meditate. Then in is nourish. So that's where you grab that water, and you are dehydrated because you just went 8 hours without drinking anything. So chug down the water, and then if you want to go with your coffee with your collagen in it, oatmeal, depending what kind of workout you're going to do. But it's really like fueling your mind, so then you can go throughout the rest of the steps. So the P is play. Now go outside, play with your dog, play an instrument if you're learning a new instrument.
Ooh, cool.
But just like have fun is the idea. And
would that be like a workout?
So we'll get to that, But also with Unplugs, we'll do pick an affirmation. So that's the P. So we'll read an affirmation out loud. The L is learn. So this is, you could learn a new word, get the old school dictionary. You can't use Audible, so you have to read a book, like pick up an old school book that you highlight in and all that. The next U is unleash. So this is letting go and forgiving something. And it could be as simple as you and I had an argument argument and I'm going to forgive you and myself without you ever apologizing, because that's where the true freedom and peace is.
Yep.
And it's like we both have a part in it no matter what. And so it could be that, or it's something that like you need to let go with your father or your mother or whatever. And it's something you have to work on every day, but you focus on letting go a little more each day until it's gone. Process it.
Yep.
The 2 G's are gratitude and generosity. So gratitude, you could write down one thing you're grateful for or fill out an entire paper, which is what I do, because then it helps me focus on what I do have and not what I don't have. So abundance versus lack. And then the second G, generosity, I would say, what's one thing I'm going to do that's generous today? And it doesn't have to be monetary. You don't have to buy a stranger a cup of coffee, which totally works, but also it could be your time. So your presence, your time is more valuable than money. So it's like, you know what, if someone stops me to ask for directions today, I'm not going to just wave at them and keep going. I'm going to talk to them, or I'm going to call a friend and just reach out because I know they're going through something and I'm just going to give them my undivided attention.
Yeah.
And then you get to E, which is exercise. And so this could be your HIIT workout. This could be yoga, stretching, mobility, whatever you need that day is what you'll give yourself, because movement is medicine. If I don't take my prescription in the morning, I am not the same person throughout the day. And then I finish with the declare, and that's your I am statement. And so whatever you're feeling, it could be one statement, I am powerful. I also love Marianne Williamson's quote about our deepest fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, it's that we're powerful beyond measure. And so I read that to myself every day. So like, don't dim your light so that others feel secure around you, all that kind of stuff. Just a reminder. And if anything else I need to declare for the day, but that's the 9 steps. You can do it in 9 minutes or 4 hours, whatever you need that morning. But that's what I do. And I'm going to put the 5-minute journal in there for when I'm writing down what I'm grateful for.
That's so awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So cool. So I actually reached out to some of the people tuning in today and asked them to submit questions.
Cool.
So I'm going to list them off and we can kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
All right. So because you are a fitness guru, what is your #1 tip for building muscle?
Okay, so for building muscle, depending what you're trying to do, because I think there's a common misconception with women that they feel like if they start lifting a lot of weight, that they're going to get really bulky.
Right, and be like a bodybuilder.
Absolutely, and that's not the case. It all comes down to your diet and nutrition and what you're eating. So if you're eating the right things, you can lift super heavy and get super lean. The leanest I've ever been, the happiest I've ever been is when I was lifting super heavy every single day. And so it will really help you get that look that you're looking for if you're going for lean and toned. So that's how I say to build it. I'm always working on the booty.
Yeah.
So deadlifts, squats, hip thrusts, single leg hip thrusts. That is the way to go. Do them every single day.
Oh, for booty.
Yeah, for booty.
I'm
booty
working on the booty too. I think I spent my whole life working on the booty. But I need to, okay, so I need to
Donuts work
lift
too,
more.
right?
Yeah, donuts. Or those like butt pads. I've reviewed those. Don't do that. No. Love the skin you're in.
No, but
hit the gym.
Okay.
So is it true that you should work out and then eat protein, or like what should you have right after your workout?
So it doesn't have to happen right after the workout. It's not an immediate thing. I actually have been doing intermittent fasting, and that's worked really well for me.
That's been a huge trend.
Yeah, and you know, I just tell everybody to try everything and see what works for their body, because I don't think there is the magic pill. And it's like, some people go vegan, some people go vegetarian, some people go paleo, and all these things don't work because they're not listening to their body. And there's also things that you're allergic to, things you're intolerant to that can cause inflammation. There's also this thing called FODMAPs that I just found out about not that long ago. And it stands for a very long, like, sugar name, like fermented monodialysate, that whole thing. And it's found in the things that you wouldn't think, like healthy, seemingly healthy things. So I really have been encouraging people to try cutting out high FODMAP foods just to see if it helps with inflammation.
What's like an example?
Avocado,
what?
Cashews, pistachios, asparagus, cauliflower, apples, cherries, pears. I mean, all the things I was eating. And I was like, I had tried everything and I just couldn't feel better. I had bloating, fatigue, headaches, all kinds of symptoms. I cut those things out and I've been absolutely great. Garlic, onions.
Whoa.
And it blew my mind. And that was it. It was like, I thought all these other things were the answer. And it was just this one sugar that was found in all these foods that were seemingly healthy that I ate every day.
And what is it?
FODMAP. So FODMAP.
FODMAP.
So you can look it up what the high FODMAP foods are and then what a low FODMAP diet looks like too.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
It's crazy. And there's this thing too that's not, I feel like people are just discovering, but it's called SIBO, small intestine bacteria overgrowth. And a lot of people have it, and those higher FODMAP foods will trigger the SIBO. So that's what's causing a lot of distension, a lot of bloating, and different symptoms as well. So people go on this FODMAP, and it actually gets rid of all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know, because being bloated is no fun.
Not fun. No. Not fun.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Do you encourage snacking? And if you do, what are your go-to snacks?
Okay. So
even though you just said you're doing intermittent fasting.
Yeah. So when I'm doing intermittent fasting, I typically won't eat until between 12 and 2. So I'll have just coffee before then. So I won't break the fast, and I won't put collagen in the coffee until afternoon if I'm going to do that. But typically I will just have a smoothie for my first meal. I'll have one snack in between my dinner, and my dinner will be a ton of vegetables, maybe a little brown rice, white rice, either one's fine. Actually, white rice is probably a little bit better. And then I'll have like chicken or turkey or something like that, and try not to eat after that, and try to stop eating between 6 and 8 p.m.
Yeah.
But for snacking, I do have a go-to snack, and everybody knows it. Peanut butter and rice cakes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Peanut butter lover here, with the rice cakes. So I go a little bit overboard on those sometimes. But
so
it's a really
peanut
good
butter, almond butter, or just all
any
of the
kind,
above?
sun butter, walnut butter, whatever kind of butters. But
that's a good one. Have you heard of putting? I heard seaweed with like avocado and a dash of olive oil for like the healthy fat.
It sounds amazing. I don't do avocado just because of the FODMAP, but I think that would be amazing, and for especially people that want to get that extra fat in too from the avocado. I think that sounds amazing.
Yeah, because I've been trying to clear up my skin, and they say add healthy fats.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So okay, so you do support snacking. Like I'm a big snacker. So
yeah. Oh, I love snacks are amazing.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Like I don't think I could do intermittent fasting, because my body, I actually just did this DNA test, food test, and one of the results was that my body, I'm a snacker.
Okay.
And so I get hangry if I don't eat every 3.
And low blood sugar.
Yes. Low blood sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are, let's see. Okay. Best workout for weight loss.
If you really are just trying to lose weight, and you can still go lift, but cardio, running. If I want to lose weight quick, I just start running every single day. But also you have to be careful, because you'll probably lose the things you don't want, like your butt. The things you don't want to lose, but you might lose the gut and the butt. Yeah. So it's kind of whatever you're going for, but cardio is where it's at. Okay. For sure.
All right. Okay, this is a good one. Sometimes I have trouble really listening to people. Any advice? How can I be more present?
Well, unplugged is a way to be more present. That's
I was just going to say, I think waking up and really taking the time to set your intention for the day and go within, and then go out on your day will help you be more present.
Because it's like having that goal, right? Having a purpose, having your intention. And I find that when I read in the morning, something that I read will help me when I come to a situation to be more proactive instead of reactive. And a lot of times what we're doing is already thinking about what we're going to say. So as you're talking, you're thinking about the next question or something. So you're not really listening to the person, and you're not present. So a good thing to do is always repeat back what they say. So that way they know you're listening. You are actually listening, because you're like, I'm going to repeat back and tell them what they just said. So it'd be like, so what I'm hearing you say is you really enjoy Canada, and you want to, whatever it is. And so that's a way to stay present and stay in the conversation. But again, it is first disconnecting to give yourself time so that your cup is filled up. So when you go out, you actually have something to give, and you're not pouring from an empty glass.
Awesome. So there are some great ways to stay present. Well, thank you so much for being present on this show. And
thanks for having me.
Fake Rosé.
I have my coffee too. Yeah.
She's a huge coffee drinker. How many cups of coffee do you have?
I mean, it started at 1 and now it's like 3 or something. I don't know about like.
Well, thank you so much. And once again, I hope all of you guys watching come and join the Unplugged Mornings if you live here in LA. If not, definitely check out Lauren. She's amazing. Once again, do you have any final words to leave our Rosé lovers?
I just think, just give yourself the time. Like, you deserve it. You matter. Take care of you first. It's not selfish. It's selfless. So do what you got to do for you. Stay unplugged, more than plugged in if you can. And when you do plug in with purpose.
Thank you guys all so much for watching. Remember, life does start outside your comfort zone, so just go for it. Be unplugged in the morning and be present. And thank you guys, and I'll see all of you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.